time in the airport I rest. The brothers give me the fear, the promise of death. The work with my life without fear.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Clear Paris, who make on you, I can't ask you to be benyo. Say my journey, Tina can ask my yamo. And yes, I know money, and more I know. And you love our money, more I know.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandfather.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I can't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I can't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I don't get it now ya to money. That's the baby, and I don't get it now. Cause you walk on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandfather.
There are things we can do. We bringing good news and we give it to you. We talking for podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and out part of the globe. For the top people who waiting to sell. The flesh that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside River G to Chide, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat, San to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Indeed, Sktv, it is the best in Liberia. Sktv, it is the best around the world. Sktv, it is the best. Indeed, we are the best. Folks, what a way to say the pleasant good evening. And those of you, good afternoon, good morning, and better say good evening based on your location. Exactly. I don't know where some of you are following us from, but to those of you who are following us, maybe based on your time zone, we have different time zone, and maybe you and us we have the same time zone also. Let me say the pleasant good evening. Welcome to the May week. Yes, indeed, the May week edition of the Sktv show. For us here, we partner. The progress on and say what we don't carry what for what. Oh, man, I can be busy my chairman. Man. Yeah, but chairman, we don't carry what. But they said they don't carry what for what kind of project, man. Those of you who know the kind of jargons and so forth, so that you look, Robert, when you come, you put the kind of, they don't care what thing for what. Yeah, man, I don't want to say. I want you, Robert, Fasulo Jackley, to tell us, you don't carry what for what. That's what we do here. For all, we don't carry what thing for what thing. For beauty pageant, is there, the people are this saying, we don't care what man, that what thing they can carry for video pageant again, my people, yeah, man. But anyway, you're welcome. Those of you who know already about some of these things, you already know exactly what I'm talking about. So that means for us here, even though some of our people, government officials, every time, in fact, earlier with some of them, in fact, they can be praying so that we can be sick, because they don't even want to hear us because come on, especially about this time. Almost the entire country can be glued to the radio. Everybody want to listen to Sktv. People want to hear what we'll be saying. For us, yeah, we have that's our, uniqueness. The way we talk, the way we broadcast, the way we interact with our people. Everybody have their own view. Disagreements everywhere. But at the end of the day, Mama Liberia is all we all fought for, So when we come here, we'll come here with all of fuck good. Oh man. Oh yeah, what I like about all of you. Look, this show. I like this show. Look, I don't know, but nothing else can make me happy than Sktv. Because the followers, These people, you see them, they are so unique. They say, what is somebody? Togba Kuya said, we don't carry fact for people. Good. So for us here on this platform, we don't joke. We're not here to can't tell you, the people that will be crying on the other station and they be acting at this and that. Maybe acting. No, for us here, you see, sugar coating thing, that what can make things can get worse. Today now, the African Development Bank, they're not crying now because they used to go on round tables, sit down and be discussing, we will find the way forward for this. This is, this is not good. We know how to put it out to our people because we got to do this. And at the end of the day, guess what? They're crying now. Africa is dying because of corruption. Oh, yes. One day, we will get what? We will get the kind of more Africa we are fighting for. Yeah, better Africa. It's not the kind of thing where when certain group of people, when they're in oppositions or when they are not in positions, then they pretend. One guessing, I don't know, no guessing. Sit down somewhere. Look, what kind of country is this? No guessing. You sit down somewhere. Oh God. Anyway, that's a kind of society. You're not thinking about the society. You're not thinking about the people that you represent. You don't know that Labiona going nowhere. You said that you want to fund media. You open a platform, you're acting and you're talking what? You campaign to win elections. And the Liberian people say, okay, say you people were campaigning back to back and you people saying that you all want to rescue us, no problem. We will give our country to you people. They give the country to you. Then you're sitting there instead of you doing the people work. You go on radio looking for a platform here and there to do what? You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. See the community that you're representing. See how people are all in the streets, back and here and there. The disabled people, this is the first time ever in my life that disabled people ever protested. It's on your watch, your own government. You're not thinking. God be God. Anyway, my people, that we just starting. Just share the show. That Steve can say, today it won't be easy today. Yeah, today we will come out with our own jacket. But Ali is here. No time to waste. But Ali, good evening.
Maybe good afternoon from my end. Good afternoon to our listening audience and followers. This is Ali Masali. Glad to be here, Baltimore, Maryland. How's everything? How's the family? How was the weekend?
Well, my dear brother, I'm great. Thank God we already in the May week now already. So the weekend a bit magnificent. Are you sure? Always good. Thank God. My brother, let me tell you, in this life of ours, sometimes there are some things sometimes stay away from. Because your peace, your life is also matter. So even if you have dry rest for the day, tell God thank you. There's a reason for which that dry rest comes. Because if you want to make it look like you need everything, then you waste your time. So my weekend was magnificent, it was good. And thank God for life. And you, everything.
Thank God my majority was okay, at least. Because Monday was not here, and yesterday I was not, I was here again. Yeah, but so far so good. Thank God, everything is okay. We are back again. What news have Mama Liberia?
Well, my dear brother, like you just asked, so many things happening back home. Mind you, our president and his entourage, or the delegates, or people are saying 40, people are saying 50, people are saying 39, and so forth. But as far as we are concerned, there are only 23 officials' names that were placed on the website or the internet, which of course we all saw and if I talk about. But again, our president out of the country for a few days, which of course he is somewhere around there in Japan. He will be there up to maybe up to this week, between Thursday and Friday, and then he will be coming back home. And yes, finally today, the Chief Justice been nominated by the president, His Honor Kwame Gbese, Gbese Kwekwe, has finally been put into his position as Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia, and His Honor Bwaka Kane also, who was also nominated as Associate Justice, has also been put into his position also as on the bench of the Supreme Court. Yeah, so apart from this thing, my brother, the only thing that is so sad is about the dead news of so many young people when it comes to the issue of drugs, with the latest coming from the prison compound, where we are getting reports that one inmate died from drug, they call, I don't know, Jakambi coach, or how you may call it. He was taken to the GFK hospital where he was pronounced dead. So that's one of the 20 national news happening, and it's just quite unfortunate that every day we got to witness the death of young people, either with the streets or sometimes in some of the unfinished buildings or houses, as you may call. So yes, indeed, my brother, so many 20 national issues. Things prices stay the same. Liberians are still hoping for the rescue government to do what they promised the people, because mind you, they promised so many things that they're going to do for the Liberian people. So the Liberian people are asking a lot of the hard questions. School is about to open, school fees, mind you, every year, some of the parents, in fact, they cry from the huge increase of school fees. And we are also experiencing that now. But maybe hopefully next week, we're going to be looking at the entire school opening, uniform, and so forth. But so far, so good, man, there. But these are happening apart from international news coming from the USA, where we've been following so many national news in his key interactions with Donald Trump and so forth. So far, so good. So, yes. Brother Ali?
Yeah, babe, but thank you there for the update. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so far so good. Like everything you say, yes, these are all important things, and more especially, you see, my heartfelt condolences to all the people out there, the kind of death every day in Liberia. You see young people, lifeless body lying down in the street, and it is all from drugs. And this other one here about kind of Jakarta, sparking, cool, kidding, email from all kind of things. They took somebody from the prison compound, took them to JFK, they die as a result of taking in drugs. Somebody asking, how can you be in the prison compound, you taking drugs? That's why you don't know it's older than you. That one of the places you can find people taking drugs than any other place. But again, our condolences to the people who lost in their children in the hands of drugs across the country. We don't know what's happening. Every day you will hear about different new drugs we have, spark and kill, we get tension. And it just, this is why we said it, and I will always say it, drugs is not something to politicize, even though they did it. This country we say thing made by America, the amount of drugs that are in the country, that's small thing. Every day they rain people. Every day they rain people. So no president will run campaign in this country on drugs. You dare try it. You only talk about the economy, the security, and other things, but you can't try it. But Liberia, this was something that they said that it was a specific government that was bringing it, and today it had catch up with them. You see, this issue about drugs that the president said was a national emergency. 2 years of your administration now, no policy has been put in place, no measure. You talk about rehabilitation center, all of these things, you will just say, oh, just how you can speak beautiful English, like how you can say all these beautiful things, and you don't implement them. So far, we pray for our country. You see, it is so sad to see young people dying every day. Yeah, baby.
Well, thank you, brother Ali. Mark just joining us. Mark, good evening, my dear brother, and welcome to the May week edition of the Sktv show.
Yeah, most definitely. The May week edition of the Sktv. Today is Wednesday, or August 20th, to be more precise. I don't know if you guys are sharing the show, because my screen I'm seeing 39. I don't know if that's it.
Yes, myself, we're just starting, so we got to share the show. Brother Ali, all of us, let's share. Yeah.
Yeah, we're below. So I think we'll pause for now until we can get our regular number. Anything above 400, then we can start the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we just lecture in a Mark. We just lecture about the issue. Maybe so many things, maybe another 20 national news on your mind. But with the issue of drugs with our young people, every time when you wake up, either you found maybe you see something on the Facebook about a young person being taken in some substance, and they sometimes they lost their lives and so forth.
Well, we got so many variations of the drug issue. I know it will persist in Liberia for a very long time because it's mostly economical. And when I mean economical, it's a hot cake. And when people are in distress, anywhere you find poverty and hopelessness, people end up resolving the drugs. And the people that are bringing it in the country, they are the folks in the higher ups in government. It's been confirmed now by one of the former DA or Operation DA boss and that of the current one. So it's an established fact that the supply chain comes from the government itself. So I don't know how the government is going to fight something that major players in this administration are engaged into. So, and it's lucrative. People can make quick money. And when you can make quick money in a society we're in, the average civil servant cannot even, his salary cannot even sustain over the course of the month, then more than likely it's not going anywhere anytime soon. It's so pathetic. I have seen more dead people in the street than even during the 1990 war. Yeah, it's every day. I think from the Yeke Koluba web page or Facebook page, they are sharing all these things. You're seeing dead young people, and people don't understand the enormity of the situation when it comes to drugs. But 10 years from now, you will get the reward. You will see the actual effect because right now it's reaching to a tipping point, but the cascading effect, because when the thing about drugs is almost like war. When you fight war, right, it's not about the amount of people that die or the destroy. I'm talking about the psychological impact. It can spend up to 2 generations for you to recover from war. That's why people are always against war, because it's not only about fighting the physical war, the psychological, the mental aspect of the war. We're talking about generations that have been damaged. Sometimes, like I said, it extends up to 2 generations, 30 to 40 years on average. That's why you see we are still reading from 1990, even though we are in 2025. We still got the ghost of 1990 that continue to haunt us because of the war. So we are technically within range when it comes to the cascading effect of war. But I stop there for now. Folks, keep sharing the show. We got some fascinating topic to cover today, mostly economical. We don't do too much gossip on SKTV. We talk on trending national issue, and that's it. If you want anything sensational or the gossip or the latest G's, then I guess there are other platforms that are available to give you those information. But I'll stop there, Mabel.
And Mark, while we are sharing the show and maybe doubling up our viewers or followers, let me see. I think there are other news also. So let's go back to this because I'm very concerned, Mark, quickly to the drug issues, because even in the present compound, okay, I see what's going on. We're having trouble. Okay, what happening? So is
Yeah,
that
I think the Facebook page.
I
I don't
see?
know. I'm not seeing it or
Yes,
something.
I feel most of the viewers now that we're having is from the SKT, from the YouTube.
The YouTube.
So yep, I see what I see. Yes, let me see Facebook jobs from us. Yeah, so let me just see. Mark, let's see how best to go for this break. Make some adjustment and see what's going on, because sometimes people yeah, let me see quickly, let me see our best. Yeah, Steve Bole, you are quite correct, but I'm just confused about the drug even entering into present compound. Wow, something that surprising to me, Mark, to hear about uh image also being affected by drug. I don't get it.
Well, I don't know. When I say it's lucrative, then nowhere is off limit. Even the prison compound. Matter of fact, if you do some deep dive, maybe there are possibilities that even people in law enforcement might be the one trafficking drugs, because people must find a way to survive. And if drugs can give you more money, even 5 or 10 times more than what you make on average in terms of your monthly salary, then more than likely you will be having people in drugs. The last time I think it was a lady that was in the church, right? I think she was an usher or somebody. So I mean, some of the least places you expect, that's where drugs is going to be popping up. So for me, I don't think it's something new when you talk about prison compound. because I know some of the security personnel in the country are also drug or peddler. They are the one that are kind of supporting the supply chain when it comes to getting to the customer. So it's not screens to me. There will be screens places if it can come from an usher in a church, then keep an eye on some of your fake prophet too, some of your men of God. Maybe they might be hiding beyond religion and also peddling drugs. So that's it. Because when you're into illegal drug trafficking, you want to do it in a way that people cannot detect. So some of the people that you think are prominent folks in society, they might be the major drug dealer because the eyes, I mean, all eyes are not on them. They are looking at other places, or other petty traders. But sometimes the people who are actually influencing the supply chain, they are from the very top and people that you least expect. So it's not surprising that you're finding drugs in person compound.
Then quickly, Mark, thank you. I think we will continue this way while we do some setup behind the scene, but let's continue this way because our people, they are also listening and we don't want to just,
yeah, we can leave them hanging because we got some technical issue of Facebook. So we gotta
good. So those of you who are also watching via the Facebook, or you can also go on YouTube, if just in case if you're having some issues watching us on Facebook, we are appealing to you, please go on YouTube. You will see us there live, and we are there. But Facebook have their own way of solving problem, so they are telling us to wait. Maybe the little technical issues.
Several issues.
Wonderful. So Mark, yeah. So Mark, no need to waste our people time. But I go ahead, Mark, with a little information. Yesterday, the Deputy Information Minister Daniel Sano said that the president will cut off his, or in fact, will cut his trip short, come back home because he have other duty, other things to attend to, and in less than 24 hours, or should I say 10 hours, or maybe a few hours, the press secretary from the office of the president said, no, the president will be there up to the time the entire visit or the trip. Thank you, until everything. What are you sensing, Mom, before we go into our discussion?
Well, first of all, the inconsistency, there is nothing new. Everybody want to speak on behalf of the government, but even though there are protocols that there as to how they put out information, but it tells me that I don't think they are finding anything positive from that summit. Like it's a symposium, it's a global international conference for ideas and innovation and stuff like that when it comes to technology. And Liberia is not one of the countries in the world when we talk about Japan. Japan is more industrialized than America, right? When it comes to technology, artificial intelligence, when it comes to smart chip and semiconductor and all these things, they are ahead of us. So for a country like Liberia, I don't know whether they will get any positive response. I'm hoping that they do. But the reality is, when Japan is coming to make investment in Africa, I don't think Liberia will be some of the countries that they are going to pick, because looking at the nature and the culture of Japan, their economy is all about automobiles, all about manufacturing, all about technology and AI and software and all this stuff. So I don't know. Maybe that's what the president see and they decided to come home because they will all get paid. It's a business adventure for them. The average president, Liberia, like I said, they have no idea. Every time your government official attend these international conferences, they get paid. And you are there thinking say they are going to meet investors. That's a lie. They ain't going to meet no investor. Because if that was the case, you have seen a lot of investors pour into the country. It's been 2 years in the administration, from Texas to Atlanta to Singapore to South Korea, all the conferences. How many investment have you seen in terms of return? And this one in Japan. So that's why you got the inconsistency. They will be there to cover the time. Because I know this particular forum was last from the 20th, which is today, to the 22nd. So if the president is coming before time, then Liberians say no better. It's just another waste of resources and taxpayer. That's why Taiwan Gomlo considered to be, how he call it, an organized theft, or he called it a legal theft, wherein you can steal from people, but you institutionalize the stealing to make it look legitimate. Because what was the essence of going over there? I mean, when you want to make an investment, maybe when they get something called cost analysis, you want to know how much you will spend versus how much you will gain. If that's why sometimes most presidents, they don't attend this and they focus on that domestic issue, because that's where people want result. I'm not saying you cannot go out there to look for investment, but the question is, if you don't create the condition, look at a human rights report. I don't know. You said it may have 40 years experience. He got wisdom. He been in government for 4 decades. There is nowhere in the world business people are going to invest when you have human rights issue and corruption eating up your country. No, because before an investor comes to a country, they do their own background check. They carry on their own assessment. They know where to put money. And you will just take 40, 50 people, jump in a plane, travel, sleep in somebody's nicest hotel in Tokyo, in the surrounding area of Tokyo, eat some sushi, some nice meal, get paid, and come home. That's just why it's all about. You are not going to get a damn thing from this trip. I can guarantee you that, because the nature of this particular forum or international conference or symposium or how you call it, Liberia is not the kind of a country that are going to reap any major benefit from this thing. It's just another showmanship. It's just another plot to give the Liberian people an impression that Joseph Baga is working, but in reality, you're not getting nothing in return. Joseph Baga doesn't understand business. He doesn't understand technology. He doesn't know how to woo investors. So that's just it.
Wonderful, Mark. Is like, in fact, you just passed by our topic on today, and that's just magnificent. But Ali, quickly, maybe you want to chip in on the information coming out from the cycle of the president, especially from the information and that of the press assigned to the president. What say you before we go straight into our topic?
Yeah, maybe in Liberia now, excuse me, this is the most experienced, educated, and sophisticated government, and we expect to see these people doing things in line with what they told the Liberian people. But it is quite unfortunate to be seeing this kind of contradiction or everybody saying their own thing, because I think our information minister or deputy information minister, before coming out to see such a thing, Imam Martin is supposed to get information or get clarity from the presidential press secretary or other people in the government. But we don't know where he got his information from that the president is cutting a trip short to come back to the country or due to other things. And you and I know, since the president left, we haven't heard anything that really spark up in the country that will make us to say, oh yeah, there's a need that the president come back to the country. So we don't know where he got information from. And now my sister is saying, oh no, the president will continue to be over there as plans for him to do whatsoever he went to do. So we don't know where the conflicting statement is coming from. The deputy information minister said this and the presidential press secretary said this. So we don't know how they're running the government, and everybody can just come out and say what you want to say. Again, I don't really know why the huge delegates went. I will say I don't know again, because the reason is just wasting money. For us, we will be asking the question, but for them, they know what they went for, because they know it's all about getting TPS and other thing, allowances or traveling allowance. They are going to get money. But right now, we saw what happened in the country just yesterday when the National Election Commission were locked down. And now, these people that went, if you just check when it comes to the economic class of people that will be right economy from Liberia or to Tokyo, Japan, or one person will be paying up to 5,000 some more dollar for ticket, 5,500 and some more dollars, some change a person for ticket. And we're talking about the business class is 10,000 some more dollar US per person. So if you just say you're going to take the 5,500 and some change for 40 person, that's about 260 some more thousand United States dollar, 260 some more thousand. And they just lock our National Election Commissioner for 171,000. So if the government can be spending money like that, and we see the kind of disgrace coming to the country, I don't really know, because I think Liberia, the only country in that summit that went on that summit with that huge delegation. Other countries sent one representative, other countries sent 2 persons, some people sent 3. But why Liberia going with a huge delegation? Suppose say, oh, the president went with 23, the president went with 40. Even when he go with 10 persons, why the essence of going with 10 persons on such a summit? Let's see what happening in the country. The thing that you say is a national emergency in the country. Drugs. Every day people dying. President Waka spoke of wasteful spending. I think on Saturday, when we played the video when he was interviewed, these are some of the things he talked about. The previous administration used to just leave the country, they go with Liberian people money. Why are you doing today with Liberian people money? You continue traveling and bringing back nothing to the country. You see? So that issue of going Japan with a huge delegate, it was just another way of misusing the state resources instead of directing it to the rightful place. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Brother Ali. You have passed the hour. That's the time check. Those of you who just joined us, thank you. In fact, let me say thanks to all of you who follow us via the YouTube. Actually, you're really doing well. That's the best place now to go because we're having some technical glitches with the Facebook of the SKTV. So we want to work on things behind the scene, but we just stopped the show. So we got to continue because other people do. But quickly, let's move to our discussion here today. This is our topic for today. Yesterday, the African Development Bank, or the AFDB, says Africa loses over 580 billion annually to corruption and illicit capital outflows. Mark, what say you with the kind of news coming from the African Development Bank that because of corruption today, out of the $1 billion that they've been giving, this money just continue to go in the pockets of few hundred people, and the majority of the people suffer. That's why today Africa is backward. And mind you, I think the Africa Development Bank personal launches some time ago, 17.8 million youth investment, something they call it. I think that was sometime around July 22nd of the year. But what say you more? With the latest news coming from the African Development Bank?
Well, you can quote the African Development Bank, but you got to start domestically before you go on the continent or you go to the continental level. Your central bank just came up with a latest report saying that we are in a debt trap of $2.7 billion in total. And when you talk about debt and corruption at the same time, it just means that you are not going anywhere, maybe in the next 15 or 20 years. Because you can talk about the African development, that's when we're talking about the continent, but the major reason is about corruption. And the African Development Bank, in as much as they want to publish this story, they love the business model. It's the same thing that happened with the IMF and the World Bank. They love for people to be in debt. They love stupid presidents. They love corrupt government because they know when you are corrupt, you are more likely to steal from your people and borrow. That's why they make it easier to gain access to money because they know they will increase the interest rate. That's how they make their money. So the more you disintegrate into debt and accumulate more debt, that's how much money they can make because they can increase your interest payment on the debt. Now, if you're talking about almost 50 to 60% of GDP because it's $2.7 billion in debt. And matter of fact, even the domestic debt now is increasing in Liberia according to the Central Bank of Liberia. So they name a lot of stuff. They talk about corporate inversion. They talk about multinational corporation trying to erode the tax code. They're talking about illegal or illicit money laundering, money moving here and there illegally. So I think they broke it down. They said $90 billion in illicit or financial flow. The article said was $275 billion in profit shifting. You know what they call profit shifting? Maybe let's say multinational like Firestone, right? Let's assume that Firestone got 3 operations in Africa. Maybe they get one in Ivory Coast and Botswana and Liberia, right? Because by right, you're supposed to pay taxes based on where you generate the economic activity, and they can pay taxes all around the world. So if Firestone noticed that Liberia is taxing higher, then they will shift their account or their accounting operation to maybe Africa. If Africa getting a lower tax rate, they will claim that most of the money that they are making coming from the Africa, because that way they will pay less in Africa as opposed to paying in Liberia. That's just why they call that. That's just one process. And most businesses or multinational corporations, that's what they do. They are into saving money and not paying taxes as much as possible. So it's not only in Africa, but the thing here is in the case of Liberia, we can expect that to happen more because we are corrupt. We are inherently corrupt society where even the president himself is into corruption. That's why, like I said, Tewan Gonglo called it today. He called it a legalized theft. That's stealing from your people, because he said when you look at the whole national budget, you don't need to be a rocket scientist anyway. Just looking at the budget alone, you can tell that the people came primarily to get steal from you, because how much you're getting in return, you the people, the people that's supposed to be benefiting from the national kickers, we call it in Liberia. You are not getting that much, but they are getting every amount. And the country keep getting the debt. Why didn't the country keep getting the debt? Because it's easy to borrow. And one thing they understand, the next government will come and inherit that debt. So they are not afraid when it comes to taking money on behalf of the country. And this financial institution, whether it's the World Bank, the IMF, the African Development Bank, the European Bureau, or the Euro Bank, they don't care. They will give you money. They will even change their own rule just to give you more loan because they know you will pay more interest rate and they can walk away with more profit. So the two articles today coming from the Central Bank and that of the African Development Bank is nothing strange. It's just that in the case of Liberia, it's just worse. It will keep getting worse because maybe the thing is when you borrow money, right? When you generate revenue in the form of taxes, you have to pay this international monetary institution. You have to pay them first. And they understand that the more you pay into financing your debt, the less money you will have to make investment into the country. You will not get better roads. You will not get better schools. You will not get better hospitals because the money that the government is generating, rather than reinvesting that money domestically, they are paying on debt and loan. So it means 20 years from now, we'll still be here saying the same thing. Liberia will be an impoverished country, will be poor, nothing will happen, except, like I said, except you get something that true leadership that will just come and just shift the whole dynamic. But until then, based on the current trend, don't expect anything better in the next 15, 20 years. It's just going to be like that.
But Aliu, what say you, rich country, poor people, legalize theft, and African Development Bank, they are now signing out, they are wanting, I don't know what is wanting, or they are now blowing the trumpet that indeed, I don't think we have to keep this secret anymore, that in fact, Africa is corrupt. African leaders, they are corrupt. All of them, one of our presidents that we interact with, the people that come here and take money from us to better the life of their people, they siphon these monies and take the money to any places or maybe anywhere they want to because of their own savage interest. But what say you, Brother Aliu? Because our people are now swimming in poverty, and every time you hear, oh yeah, African Development Bank gave 50 million, and these monies, you don't see it. All you hear about is under the name.
Yeah, but that's a government in, government out. That what been happening in the country. When this other government there, they will be crediting because they know when they leave, you who come, you take it as your responsibility. You will be paying, or at the same time, you be taking your own. Just as Monk said, but come on, example, even like here, Monk now when Monk get a good credit and I get a bad credit, he and I go to go get a car from the dealer, then they will give me that car instead of giving it to Monk. Because they know I get bad credit, so my interest rate going to be high. They will make more profit from me than giving it to Monk that already get good credit and your interest rate will be low. So these are some of the things that you see Liberia will continue being in debt because the people know we get like high interest rate, we get bad credit, so they will always get a loan. At the end of the day, our debt continue to increase, government in, government out. And just as you said, we can only hear the money name, but we can see what's happening in the country. These people only bring the money to the country to share among themselves, building their mansions, buying big cars, enjoying themselves. And that's not why we continue to suffer. The resources that even in the country again, they bring in investors, company come, they operate, they pay taxes again. We don't benefit anything. So where are we as a nation? When you borrow, when you go your credit money, you bring it to the country, the citizens don't benefit. When you collect taxes and things, government generate revenues and things, the citizens don't benefit anything. So yeah, we get a long way to go. Liberia, I don't really know, but it is all about God will one day help us to get the rightful leader. Other than that, we get a long way to go because we only elect people who can't read themselves, but they don't care about the citizens of the country. Everybody see government job now the best way. Like this one time, see what happened in Lima County. Just one seat. How many people contested for that seat? Because everybody feel like that's the only place they can go to read themselves. This is where we are, and till we can stand up, we get a long way to go.
Wonderful. Yeah, in fact, this is where we are. We have to stand up, or as we have a long way to go, Brother Ali. But more, let me get back to you with this statement coming from the councillor that in fact is a legalized theft. That means they are aware that indeed because you just stated that they put all of the money somewhere and go back and collect all of the money. They call it so that our people can know that, in fact, quote unquote, we can say that they are stealing, right?
Yeah.
So they put, oh my God, that is just so embarrassing. So they legalize, they are stealing pot in a very, I don't know what's a sensible way,
Yeah.
or monk.
They
What's
do it in a way. I told you, I said the only institution on the planet wherein you can use other people's money legally is in government. Nobody can come and take money from you and use it without your permission, without your consent. The only people that are given the right by virtue of a contract that we sign in the name of government to protect lives and property is in government, that people will come and take state resources and use other people's money legally. So that's what the councillor is talking about here, is legal theft. It's almost like the way you get the NSA, and when they pass in budget, you look at the amount that go to the NSA, because it's legal theft. They make it to look legitimate, but it's still stealing, because you ask yourself, how many people work within the national security, I mean, like in the NSA and the EPS, that you will allocate 10, 15, 20 million dollars, right? Because it's a Ponzi scheme, it's a money laundering scheme. It's almost like a slush fund wherein they can go there and take the money legally, but it's in the budget because the budget is legalized, right? The budget is legal. So even though they're stealing from you, they're stealing to look legitimate. That's what the councillor is saying. And when you when you read the Front Page Africa article, I think the councillor, what we've been saying about this two-party system in Liberia, how it's going to cost Liberia dearly, I think he resorted to the same statement. And the response from the information minister, Mabon, is so pathetic. That's why we say, until we can break away from the two-party state, nothing will happen in that country. That's what Tewan Gongo said, I mean, directly. He said, I have come to describe some of the things that happen in Liberia as legalized theft. It's taking something away from people. When you put and look in the budget of more of the top government officials, maybe a very lesser or less than 20% is left for Liberian people. As a human rights lawyer, I could never be in a government that will send someone who runs away from his country for fear of prosecution. Do you know why the information minister responded? What? President Bouaga did not leave this country, never left this country to stay out for 58 days. He did not go to watch a soccer game. He has not left this country with a delegation of 50%. So we wouldn't want to go into this kind of thing. The country has to make progress. So what he's saying, even though the councillor is accusing Joseph Bouaga of legalized theft, he is saying that, yeah, Joseph Bouaga is stealing, but Joseph Bouaga is now worse than the guy that was before, because what he actually saying, he referencing Joshua, that Bouaga is not carrying 50 individuals as delegation to Japan. So just because he's carrying less, even though we know that nothing is going to come out of that, it's a useless trip, it's a waste of taxpayer resources. In the mind of the information minister, Joseph Bouaga is a little better than Georgia, because Georgia went to watch soccer game for 38 or 40 days. He took 50 people or 50 individual delegation, and Bouaga is carrying a little under that. So for the information minister, it's not about the conference or what Liberia is going to benefit. He's measuring against who? Or Georgia. So that's why I keep saying, until we can graduate from this two-party system, because they are both worthless and useless to Liberia. The day the Liberian people decide to make a conscious decision to look for someone outside of these two political parties, nothing is going to change, because they are all one of the same. And that's why you heard coming from the information minister, like the late episode that I read from the Front Page Africa.
Great. So, Brother Aliu, let me take you back on this. Nearly 50 persons or 50 African leaders, because DW Africa is reporting that nearly 50 African leaders seen there at the Tokyo or the TECA summits with Japan. So I don't know. I don't get it. I'm still confused, because every time they will be boasting that, in fact, Africa is rich, because mind you, with I think a few African leaders quite recently that they interacted with Donald Trump. They were giving out the resources that they have and so forth, that America should come in so that they can do business. But seeing these people going back to back, are they going there for real business, or are they just going there to show their hands and say, yes, Japan, you're playing help us? What are the African leaders attending some of the conference? Why are they wasting money to go for the conference. But are you? All right, yeah. So Mark, yeah. I want you to actually chip in on that more because I'm very confused on that. That you will see all of our leaders, African leaders, they are all going to look at Japan.
Yeah,
I'm confused.
That why in the Bible they say many are called, but few are chosen, right? Any industrialized country, all the big players, America, the European Union, the Russia, the China, they are all juggling for resources. That's how they grow their economy too. They need raw material. They need investment into their country as well. But let me use the football analogy, maybe. The same way you're a soccer player, you are hoping, right, to go play for a European club to make more money. European clubs are also looking for talent. That's why they get someone they call scout. They pay people to go around the world to go look for talent for them, right? You don't take your boots, pull it into a bag, and jump on a plane and say you want to go play for AC Milan, right? Or Chelsea. Chelsea, AC Milan, and all the top clubs in the world, they got their agents everywhere around the world looking for where they can find aiding talent, right? And that's how it works. It's the same thing. These people will make the assessment. They will approach certain countries that they believe they can make an investment in terms of benefiting both sides. Because when the Japanese government come to invest in Liberia, Liberia might benefit from job, but equally so Japan will also benefit in resources, right? They need certain products from Liberia as well. It's a give and take situation. But not everyone attending that meeting going there, somebody just going to beg. The countries, why you think Donald Trump invited only 5 countries to the White House recently, even though there are more than 55, 56 countries in Africa? Because they can pick, they know what they got, their interest, whether it's about security, whether it's economic interest, they can already identify that potential country that they can work with. In the case of Liberia this time around, when it comes to technology and why they TK9 some is all about, I don't know where we fit. So technically, they are going on a fishing expedition, almost like, cast your net in the water and hope that you can get some fish. Because it's not strategic, but you hear them talking about the president is going to a strategic meeting. Like, come on, what are you talking about? You are only going there with the expectation of going to beg. That's why I said, when you want to tell the vision of a president that got a clear vision and that interested in improving his country, you will see some president, they focus on their domestic policy. The useless one always look outside.
And quickly to that, Mark, let me go back to Africa. In fact, one of their posts, one of the followers, they commented, and I think Dialogue said, China will call them, they will jump. US will call them, they will jump. Oh, yeah, look, I can be thinking. Russia will call them, they will jump. Britain will call them, they will jump. Which kind of leaders? That was the question. Which kind of leaders do we have in this continent? That was the question. Yeah. Then the people reply, did they be Africa? They said the other one. Many Africans share this frustration that leaders often attend summits abroad, but really set their own agenda. The key question is, how can Africa turn these gatherings into platforms for genuine benefits?
Yeah.
How? Every time people calling you, you jump. I don't get it, Monk. I'm confused. You call yourself continent, you own continent, Africa. But every time people call you, the European people calling you, you jumping. You jump because you want to steal money for your own people. But go ahead, Monk.
No, the thing is a mentality. That's how the African leaders think. In Africa, we don't vote on competence, we vote on individual. Because if you want to get involved into a trade deal or you want to expand your economy, right? You come up with your own vision, you come up with your own idea, you got to know how to create jobs, you got to know how to spend people's resources. In the case of Africa, because typical example, maybe the Westerners, all the industrialized countries, they need all the resources they can gather from Africa, right, to grow their own economy. Who you think so will be chasing who? Why they don't go to Africa to go host this summit in Africa, but our leader always happy on plane? Because
they will take your people friend and send them on our side in the name of scholarship.
Why you think it's always happening that? Okay. If Africa is the richest continent by mineral wealth on the entire planet, right? If the Western or the Europeans, the American, the one from Asia, if they need the resources from Africa, who do you think will be chasing who? All the conferences should be held in Africa because you want something from Africa. But our leaders, because we don't elect the competent one, we elect the dumb one because they are mostly popular, they've been in politics forever with no idea. The moment they get a call, because they think that by taking picture on the world stage, it gave them popularity back home in terms of politics. Even though nothing is happening in the country domestically, that's why you see, if you read history in Africa, the leader that transformed Africa, they were not the one always jumping up when the Westerners score. They were the one that were focused on the domestic policy. They were the one that were investing into agriculture, into education, into healthcare, and making their people's life better back home. They were not the one waiting to get recommendation from IMF or World Bank. I want to ask one of my homeboys, I said, my brother, let me ask you a simple question. In order for countries to be rich, other countries should remain poor, right? If the countries that are rich want to do business with you, you think they are interested in making you better? You think that's a primary concern? No. Why make you think these major players in the world, these globalists, why make you think their number one interest is to make a country to be any richer? No, they want for you to be poor. And unfortunately, our African leaders play to these things. Because if you want to continue people's life, you will not be looking up the World Bank. I will not be looking at the U.S. Human Rights Report. I will be doing the work that I'm supposed to be doing domestically. And then that's why I will draw the Westerners to your country. Look at Rwanda. How often do you see Paul Kagame attending the international conferences?
If you coming, Mark, that's where I will be coming.
Yeah. How often do you see the president of Ethiopia or Botswana or the guy and the Ibrahim Traore of the world just going to every major meeting every weekend? No, because they are focused on their country's domestic and internal policy, because they know that's where the transformation is going to come from. Not going to the useless meeting, they get call you here 1 minute, Joseph Baga in Atlanta. Joseph Baga, you never work in the private sector all your life. What make you think when you come to an international business meeting, you're going to be able to get investor? Do you even know how to woo an investor? For a man who work your whole life in government? No. That's why you don't get anything, because you don't even understand the business world. So whether you come, whether it's America, whether it's Thailand, whether it's Japan, you can go all around the world. At the end of the day, the return on investment for Liberian people is zero to nothing. That's why you're not getting anything done, because you cannot focus. Maybe if you can really go through our budget and really do some real deep dive and do some strategic thinking, you can even have more impact in Liberia by putting resources in areas that they needed than going to Japan for job creation. Yeah. Come on, man.
Mark, let me be frank. I think these people, they are succeeded by just giving all religion. I don't know what they got. Look, they succeeded the monk to a mate. Because just imagine, Mark, even if you're citizen leaving from Liberia to go China for scholarship, see people posting 4 or 5 days, 1 week.
Yes. Yep.
To do what?
To do what, yeah.
That you busted because your people put you in poverty. They made things to look like you should worship other people. So you should travel. You should. How many Chinese people come here to your school?
Yeah, to your school.
How many Chinese? Africa. Yeah, but Ali, maybe anything that you want to say that we have about 8 more minutes to go for the news break. But Ali, yeah, go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, I just want to add President on something. Because this issue that you just talked about, the president been in government through all his life, and coming for this business summit and other things that he had no idea of. So what can be your advice to the president now? Looking at he having ministers, cabinet members, and all of these people in government. What do you think he really need to do? Because he spent all his life in government and he knows nothing when it comes to private sector and other things. So what can be your advice to the president that you think he can really do to be able to rescue our country?
Well, the most I can tell the president is focus on your domestic policy, because even your own arrest agenda, people have to remind you about it. So I don't know how going to international conferences and symposiums going to help your government. If Joseph Boakai could just focus on few major policies that he thinks, most especially economic policy, that will help the Liberian people. That's why you got a cabinet, you got a team. You are just a leader. Some of the conferences send someone on proxy. Let someone go and represent you. Focus on your domestic policy. There is no need. How many conferences Joseph Boakai have attended since he became president? Ali, if you can remember. Multiple, countless one of them. The question is, all these conferences, what have been the return on investment? Literally nothing. I cannot name a single. We're almost 2 years into Joseph Boakai administration, right? That's 1/3 of his whole presidency. How many investors, one major investor we can name that he brought to this country? Zero. So why would you want to keep creating this whole impression that you are doing better by going out of the country, that you are going to attract investment? No, your domestic policy is messed up. Nobody put money into a country that is corrupt, Can you imagine if you're an investor, Ali, you know that economic stability is tied to political stability. When you have political stability into a country, that will make business people will come to make investment, right? If you are to invest in a country and you heard that the National Election Commission cannot even pay your own rent to maintain the premises of the National Election Commission, these are people that are supposed to supervise public elections in the country, whether it's on the House, the Senate, and the presidential level. Do you think that will entice you to go and make an investment into that country, where in the National Election Commission they cannot even meet up with their own obligation? So the question is, Cheta Burger, it doesn't matter how many times you travel, you can even take a Congo or an Alpha jet, it won't help the situation in Liberia, because over and over we are seeing that all these trips, they are nothing less than being worthless and useless to Liberian people. The economy is not getting better. Children are dropping in the streets, dying every day. You cannot even tackle the little drugs problem. Drugs problem is just domestic. Rehabilitation program, making allocation of resources. If you cannot do that, you want me to believe that Joseph Parker will go to Japan, sit before investor and bring them to Liberia. That's wishful thinking. That blind optimism. Stop wasting the Liberian poor resources. But like I said again, for them it's business. Because the more they travel, the more money they make. They are not traveling because they want to bring investment to the country. So, President, you might as well change your strategy and start focusing on some of the pressing issues domestically. I think we'll do far better for the country than going to all these worthless conferences around the world.
And more quickly, let me say that before everybody come in. Mark, on a very serious note, it is frustrating. It is terrible for us as people to continue to worship our fellow human. Look, all these things that we're doing today, look, like today I saw one of our own colleagues, the person traveling for this time, for this one, say, hey, God. People telling God, thank you. Can you imagine? You look like complete, abandoned person in your own society or in your own home, your own country, because of the bad system. Your leaders take all of your money, take it out, buy homes, either whether Africa, like started, whether Ghana, or to the US. That's what they do with you. Brainwash you, make things look like they are working for you. Now they are building homes outside, taking all of their children. And must say something. They make the thing look like they get more connections, maybe with the international world, go and take more photos. Then our supporter will believe that indeed we are connected. No! It's not what these supporters want. They want their life to get better. No Liberian here is more connected or in fact famous around the world than just we are. No. But what are we getting from Mark? Are we getting anything from that? No.
Maybe I respectfully disagree with you. If you say, when these people then travel, that is not why their supporter want, I respectfully disagree with you. These people, they travel, they bring nothing back to their country, and their supporter hail them. They are praising them because while they feel, oh yes, the people, they are doing better. Just as Mom said, when they are leaving the country, the Gori coming, they will be like, oh yeah, the Papa Gori. You will see, you know what the Papa doing? He are opening Liberia, he making Liberia, he putting Liberia on the map. This is why they will be talking. So that's how they feel like the government is working in as much as they see them traveling every now and then and bringing back nothing
I said that, yeah. Them. Yeah, see? You are correct. I said that, yeah.
Government in, government out. That's the same thing. When their people, their president are traveling, leaving the country, they were praising them because they feel like when they travel, they are doing something better for the country. But for example, I think President Baka had traveled more than 12-13 times. While a single investor that had come, or what had come from how he traveled, they say, oh, the president went to this country, and at the end of the day, this is what came from the trip the president made. I stand to be corrected. You there? Tell me some.
Well, not too much, but what I'm saying is that, in fact, I also join you and say yes. The reason why you see our people, this is not only Liberia, this is not only, in fact, but this is not unique to Liberia. I feel like I just said something right. The people they brought in religion so that we also can be able to, because only us Africans that won't go to heaven. For us here, people won't go sit down the right hand of God. Good, granted. Now, yes, The reason why you see this thing happening, quote unquote, people are educated, claim that how we look. Oh man, bro, look. But I don't want to even go deep. That's why I keep telling us, ignorance is our problem. We are just, people go to school, people get all of these degrees and so forth, but at the end of the day, the way they think, the way they even do things, the way they even see their own governance system. My brother, you will know that in fact something wrong with us as people. So the reason that people as worshiping the leaders, they feel that by the time you vote, or maybe when they are maybe quote unquote or supported them and run campaign and so forth for them, the next thing to do is to continue to support them into their bodies, all their sufferings. They will continue to heal them because they feel that they don't want to quote unquote that saying, you can't bring the devil, then you disgrace the devil. I will keep saying, if the devil misbehave, disgrace the devil. Why are you hearing devil when devil want to misbehave? Let the devil be disgraced. But again, Brother Aliu, the society is terrible. If you want to stand up, the society will fight you back. As you can see now with it, say no to drugs. Where are we now? The entire campaigners, they are all where? A local hair. That's the society. That's the society. Today, if something happens to you, instead of the system, instead of you going through the system the rough way, either somebody will join you, someone contact, call somebody, and say, look, you go jail Aliu. And Aliu can be talking plenty on the radio. Just because the person want to set that record on you that if they jail you. African Development Bank, all of these people, they've been like Mark said, they've been acting like they don't want to talk. But now it reached the point where they have to talk. So Mark, we're going for the news break. We'll come back. We will join you people later on the show.
$1,000, and so after negotiation with the authority of the National Election Commission, the court have finally reopened the head office of the National Election Commission. So we are coming to you live here from the headquarters of the National Election Commission. Just a quick update. You can see now that this place has been open. So here is it. This place was being set up just a moment ago by the sheriff of the commercial court after it was reported that the National Election Commission were owing a vendor $171,000 and refused to pay the vendor, and the vendor took them to court, and the court ruled in favor of the vendor and asked NEC to repay the vendor. And the court, after NEC failed to comply with the court mandate, sheriff was here, locked the entire entrance of the headquarters of the National Election Commission, and right after negotiation with the NEC authority,
negotiation was carried on, and the court have finally reopened the head office of the National Election Commission. So this means that this place will no longer be out for sale. The National Election Commission will now be able to do their job peacefully. Vehicle in here cannot go out because the head office the sheriff now opened this place. So keep watching DN News on television. The name is George Cooper. We are live here from the headquarters of the National Election Commission. This is the main compound here of the National Election Commission. We are going to the other entrance to see whether the sheriff actually opened the other entrance on this side, because there are three entrances here at the headquarters of the three entrances here. So the sheriff finally returned to the headquarters of the National Election Commission to reopen this particular main gate after negotiation. So the National Election Commission authority, okay, so you can see this other side was also locked, and so the sheriff have already opened all of the entrances here at the headquarters of the National Election Commission. This is a serious embarrassment to the commission to owe someone and refuse to pay to the extent where they have to come and lock your own building, took away the keys, and you have to go begging on your need, to have them, to convince them to have a message on you. So this is it here. So the headquarters of the National Election Commission have finally been reopened. This place was being locked a few minutes ago by sheriff from the court, and now the sheriff had now opened the main entrance of the National Election Commission. So keep watching DN News. We'll not get tired until you're paid to put money. Once you pay the money, no news will be here. Journalists will not come here. When you make the news, of course, journalists will be here. So you see here. Okay. So this place was the main area that was being locked here. So this is the building, the headquarters of the National Election Commission. Earlier on, the sheriff locked this particular compound and put it out for sale. We are told that the NEC owing 171,000 United States dollars, an amount which they have refused to pay to a vendor. So this is a building, and the building actually need painting as well. This is the headquarters. Okay, so the officials of the NEC has already started leaving. This is the vehicle of one of the commissioners, and this commissioner is already going now. So you can see they have started leaving already after the sheriff opened. After the sheriff opened the entrance, so they have started leaving one at a time. So yes, the breaking news is that after negotiation, NEC headquarters have been reopened. So let's see. Okay, here come the sheriff are now leaving. They are now carrying, you can see the lock in their hands, carrying it back. They was escorted by officers of the Liberian National Police, facilitated from the PSU. So the sheriff now leaving smiling and walking out of the compound after reopening the headquarters of the National Election Commission. The sheriff is now leaving. All right. So that is it here. The name is George Cooper. Thanks so much for watching. Stay happy, John. So.
Okay, good. Well, Mark, so we are back after the news bulletin. We want to say thanks to our viewers, those of you who follow us via the YouTube. Thank you so much. We will work on the Facebook. Hopefully, before tomorrow, all will be set. And yes, indeed, so we'll get everything back on course. But Mark, but are you and yeah, we're back after the news bulletin. I know maybe you people are not able to follow because of some technical issues, but again, we're back. Mark. All right, so folks, if you just joined, let me say it again, welcome. Those of you who just joined for the first time, yes, indeed, this is the May Week edition of the SKTV show. And I'm Johnson Mayborn Kula. I saw something on the internet while I was on the news break. Let me see. Here we go. This guy, you know, one of the social person on the internet, you know, always into these social activities. He posted on his Facebook page. Yeah, let me see quickly. He said 27, right? Yeah, I just want to read out quickly while we wait. Mark, if any of you are getting me, then we can start the ball rolling. But Aliu, if you're getting me, well, then yes, you can also let me know if you are getting me. Any of you?
I'm back.
Oh, okay, that's good, Mark. I saw something on the internet while I was on the news break. Okay, so let me see the guy. He said breaking. More than 27 Liberians got trafficked in the name of traveling to Canada, Australia, Malaysia, and the United Kingdom and Japan, etc. You know, they got who always want the social thing, and you know, here we go. That's the Facebook feed, those of you. Yeah, but more where. So I just try to inform some of our people back that in case you have any of your relatives, family members, and so forth, and said more than 27 Liberians got trafficked in the name of traveling to Canada, Australia, Malaysia, United Kingdom, and Japan. Liberians are running away
Yeah.
because they're not better back home. What say you?
Well, there's nothing new. People are desperate, and when you are desperate, other people are going to take advantage of you. I got one of my niece that experienced that stuff recently. Some lady came, took money from us, promised she would travel to how they call it, the UK, and the next thing you hear, Australia. From Australia, the information was so confusing. I said, no, they got people like that. They know that people are desperate in the country, and a lot of young people want to find their way out. But be careful. People die in on these adventures, and you don't know where you are going. And how some people end up becoming prostitutes. Some people die in the desert trying to cross. They want you to go to North Africa. I think you saw the video that I posted on my wall a couple of days ago that people die in the desert. They were able to identify them by their ID, the student ID. And tens of hundreds of them, thousands of them in some instances. Sometimes when these floaters, they are using these makeshift stuff to cross from Morocco or Algeria into Spain, Italy, and somebody end up dying. 300 can get drowned, 400. People just go and die. Like, in as much as you want to travel, why would you want to take a risk like that? That you're going to put your life on the line? But that's how desperate the human species can become. And when you are desperate, people will always take advantage of you. I'm just telling people, it's not a bad thing to travel, but these kind of a sketchy information where 1 minute they promise you this, they promise you that, just know who you are dealing with, because there are a lot of human traffickers up there, and it might cost you your life. I know things are tough in Liberia or any part of West Africa or Africa as a whole, but just know exactly what you are doing. When it sounds too good to be true, sometimes the risk can be more than the rewards, and you got to be very cautious as to who you are dealing with, because there are bad people out there. Some people get killed. Some people are into organ harvesting. They kill you. They take your organ. They got people that need heart, that need liver, that need kidney. And these things, they are money making. And some people can do anything just to get money. So before you think about traveling, make sure you know who you are dealing with. Don't put your life at risk. I know you are desperate and things are not well in the country, but equally so, I'm not going to encourage you to put your life on the line as well and just risk it because you want to travel outside of Liberia. No. You got to be your own security.
Well, Mark, I know it's not easy because sometimes you just sit here because our people, they want better life. They had to fight hard to get it. There's no way they can easily get it from their home, so they got to go to next man home. Can you imagine that you claim to be rich? Africa is rich. In fact, some of our students, some of our brothers and sisters, they always boast, yes, indeed, we are rich. We are rich, in fact, continent. But at the end of the day, the reaches nothing. But more, I have this question because we went for break prior to what we're discussing about, the issue of our young people traveling and students and stuff about to. But more, since 2006, when Unity Party headed by Manaseri Badem, sent out a lot of Liberians out there to go and learn, to go, and acquire knowledge to come back and to contribute to their own country. Mark, I'm still trying to be corrected, but I haven't seen anything because most of them, by the time they come back, Mark, they tell
It's on the government. That's why you cannot feel the impact. Because you don't have other private sector job in the country. Everybody want to come do business administration, accounting, wherein they can find something in government. Because the whole idea that when you send people out of the country, that's why I say, instead of sending somebody to Harvard University, where the government going to pay 300,000, 250,000, I could send 100 students in Ghana to go learn industrial plumbing. That they will come and make, I can pay pennies on a dollar. I will bring a lot of professional people, whether it's about, how they call this, electrician or automobile mechanic. I could send 500 because Ghana gets some of the best technical schools now in West Africa that you can get trained in less than 2 years. People that will come and add value to the country. But you send people to Harvard, the other one get a master in, they went to the Kennedy School of Government. How is that benefiting Liberia? How? We don't have a booming private sector. We don't have skilled people, skilled labor force, and you keep sending people that only come here only with the intention of going back to work in government. Come with the people that came on Manasari scholarship, where they all end up? Government, politics. You can name them. You know their names. You see them.
Yes. So from Manasari, 12 years to that former president, we have 6 years.
Yes.
Now we still seeing the same thing still happening. But there's nothing. The money just sit there. Because Mark, I don't think we'll be having engineers, we'll be having all of these things. Because, for example, other countries that are built today, it's just because of technical knowledge.
Technical knowledge.
But for us, until someone have master in education,
public administration, all those stuff that will be in government job, all the easy courses. That's why they come, because they don't want to do something difficult. They don't want to go out there and work, because all in time immemorial that all we've been programmed to, that the easiest way you can get rich, the most way you can see without working harder, is to go in government. So the moment they come in, the first thing they want to do, business administration, public administration,
someone getting master in Bible, how to
you come to the Western world, it's all about IT, it's all about technology, it's a database technician, software engineer, doctor. No, when our own come here, they only want to do the easiest and the least with the intention of getting a job in government. So even though the government have been investing astronomical sum of money in terms of educating them, but guess what? The courses they are doing here is only to come back to find a job in government. That's just what happened in the country.
But Ali, what say you with all of the money being spent back home, according to the African Development Bank, and the government itself? Okay, but Ali, already of the networking will come on very soon. But let me just say that quickly, because Mark, it is sad for us as a society. The reason why today we are backward as a nation, especially in fact the entire continent, is just because we feel that the only thing we can do, quote unquote, and just stay there, is the white collar job. Some of us how we look. Mark, you will not believe that people will not look. People will have masters. Mark, you carry them to some of the hospitals you see today. The nurses, some of them they have masters. But Mark, when you see one performance, you won't cry.
Yeah, you are. No. It's taking them 2 weeks to find somebody vein, get a drop blood.
God.
And you get masters in nursing.
Why are we deceiving ourselves? Why? And you see, that's why we're not going on. By the way, but Ali, what say you?
Ali, you are following the discussion, because the way you say, what say you are able to say, I mean, God believe when he's gone.
Yeah, I think they met.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. Mom said something, Mabon, and this issue, even excuse me, tomorrow, if they happen to say, the University of Liberia putting on graduates, and you will see almost 70 to 75% will be accounting student, people doing accounting, people doing all kinds of funny things because everybody just want to get a job that they are going to work in government. I saw people who came to America here. They were in Maryland. They left from here. They say, "Oh, to get job in Maryland is so hard." Why? Because they want a white collar job. The same thing they can do in Liberia. I say, you guys are not yet ready. Like Bong said, instead of sending someone to Howard University, spending 200,000-300,000, send people to Ghana, Nigeria, then they go learn trade. Before I work with Ghanaians when we were building the gold mine in Grand Cape, Makante, Kinjo. Some of those guys, when you go to Ghana, when I went there, when you see their mansions and things, some of them, they are just like high school graduates. But because they learn trade, today when you see the mansion those guys have put up, I work with Filipinos as well. But Liberians, everybody. This is why me I can tell my nephew, my cousin, and thing that I'm paying at tuition and thing. When you graduate from high school, I'm sending you to go learn trade. That issue about going to university, you know how many degrees in Liberia today? Go to chemistry, they send you to the attention discussing politics. When you graduate from college, nothing you get to do. But just to discuss politics, to attire center, nothing, no job in the country. Everybody want to go to do accounting and other things. This is time we have to change. Like before going to the newsroom, we were discussing something when I asked Monk, and he was talking about the government. And some of the things that I know and I think that make our government to fail is this issue about giving people jobs based on political party affiliation, based on friendship and other things. I don't know this guy called John Molu. I have never seen him before. I never interacted with him. But if we can get government that will agree with what John Molu said before giving people jobs, look at their credentials, their resume and things, scrutinize it, do background check. I shouldn't just come to Liberia and say, oh yes, I get this other degree, I did this other way, I did this other way, because I'm a member of CDC. No. Scrutinize my document, do background check to really know. And for me, these are some of the things that make our country will continue to fail. President Baka today, all the trip he's making around the world, if he have people in this position, they know what they are doing there. I think this government, they could do better. And I still believe that they can do better. Even though it just left almost 2 years now, they get 4 more years to go. I can say 3 years because the other year will be election year now. Don't expect nothing good out of the government. But they get 3 more years. And if we get people that he could put to the strategic area to do the right thing, I think he can try to do even when now 50 or 55% of his rescue government. But this I think and I know that get our country where it is today, that we only give people jobs, not based on qualification, but based on political party affiliation and friendship. These are some of the things that carry our country backward. Liberians, let's try to learn trade and forget about the too much degree. Among you and I know in this country, most of these people today in this country, like those Mexican and other national, these people, they make more money here than even people that sit in offices. Because when they come here, they put more interest in going to vocational school and to learn trade than to go to university. But Liberians just now, when they come here, we only focus, we want to go to university to get degree. How dare you get degree in America, but you can work in America with your degree only in Liberia? This is what I can get. To say, oh, the person got master, they got this and that in America. Today, all Australian university. But only Liberia, your degree can work more, especially you people that come from America. Why? That's the only place they can go and steal. That's the only place they can steal. They're misusing the people, and these people, they are there to worship them. Liberia is the first country I have seen people who are responsible for your suffering and poverty. These are the people you send to worship. This is so sad for our country.
This is so sad for our country. Quickly, Mark, let me ask you this question before going to the line to interact with our people. Mark, most of our quote-unquote rich people in Liberia, they are here from government. Have you seen any kind of more?
Yeah, you won't see that much. Yeah,
so that means African Development Bank, they are for me, 100% right. Because quote-unquote, all of the people that you see today were channeling shining like a bright
in government.
Look, yeah, my boy.
It's a cultural thing. That's how it been from day one. That's how it been. Even though we have people that were working in the private sector, like back in the 70s, you talk to some of the older people, the 80s, whether they were the Goman, the Lamco, the good days of Liberia, people were getting exposed to private sector job. Not too many people high. But when you talk about coming from the 80s and upward, no, the only way you can survive in Liberia is to work in government. Look, Melbourne, in life, the way you think, that's why they can tell you mindset is everything. The way you think, damn the way how you act. Your action is just a byproduct of your thought process. If you believe in a country that you got to be a business administration, popular administration, accounting, right? Even though you get scholarship to come to a great country where in the program, engineering, architect, IT, data scientist, artificial intelligence, programmer. If you think that you were told in a country wherein 90% of the students from early come from either business administration or popular administration or accounting, sociology, what make you think you were divert? You will come and continue saying nonsense here. The question is, that's why they end up going back home. Because what kind of job you're going to get here? Nobody's going to hire you for sociology in America as an immigrant. That's why you watch the Nigerian, the Ghanaian, the Indian, they are mostly lawyer, doctors, they are into aircraft engineering, they are into IT. Because these are hot cake area, that's what they call them STEM. Science, technology, math, and engineering. That's where you find the most job. That's where you can make the most. So you come here, you put yourself in this thing, you will get job. But why would you want to work hard when you think you can go back there and get it overnight? It's the mentality. So every one of them come here with the expectation of going back. That's why you got, it's one of the reasons we cannot get solution in Liberia. Because to bring about solution, you got to be having hands-on experience in what you do. That's why they call you a professional. You have done something repeatedly until when it's broken, you know how to fix it. But in the case of Liberia, 98 to 95, that's a 95% of them. You never work an entry-level job in your field. You came here within 12 months, they gave you a piece of paper, they call it degree. The next thing you're running back to Liberia. What do you think is going to happen when you go to Liberia?
And the worst part of it, Marco, before I go to the line, is even those people who, like for example, some of our Liberian brothers and sisters who are also residing on that side, you will see them like playing, in fact, double role. You will see them supporting government on the side so that they can get a day share, while they also, in fact, when they are hustling on the side. I don't get it. Then these are people that you will see them posting, talking about the government is trying, the government is doing the so that what? And
you want to come back home too.
Or because you won't come back home.
Yeah, to speak too. Because there's no accountability in Liberia. So everybody hoping for that one government job. That's why things are like that. 07702033125. They go to the line to either with you, our people. Yeah. In fact, the African Development Bank said that because of corruption, your people can steal. Let me go to the line and either with our first caller, David King. Good evening.
Good evening, let me say good evening to the rest of the panelists. You know, for every time we're talking like Liberia, now I always listen to Mom. Mom always want to, compare the CDC with the United Party. It's for the last 12 years before the CDC came in with their own leadership. I think United Party did enough looting. The post-war recovery money that came to this country. Today we're talking drugs. Today we shouldn't be talking about drugs. But because of buying of those money that came to the country to rehabilitate fighters who carry guns and some of them were on drugs. Because man, I said, Joe Boga sat down, they didn't use the money for the internal purpose. That what led us to where we are today. And someone would believe that CDC carry on bad governance in this country. So for some reason, or Joe Boga come with the same United Party and treating Liberian people the way they are treating them. So you want to compare that treatment with that of CDC-led administration. And I can say it for free. George, we are one administration. If you compare George, we are first 2 years in power without Joseph Boga 2 years now, you will get to know that George, we are, by this time, he was dedicated project, was groundbreaking, and doing a whole lot of things.
All right, thank you. We're talking about the issue of corruption here. Hello, to this caller, good evening.
Yeah, maybe to the panelists, I'm asking Johnson calling to go to
Yeah, go ahead.
So the issue of the war on the African bank discussing about Labrador corruption under this regime.
Africa, the people say Africa is corrupt. The whole entire
I'm going to say Africa, but the people are making Africa to be corrupt. What is Labrador under this regime? The people see a whole lot of corruption going on. President taking more than 40% to go sit down in one community college or community clinic. We were talking yesterday, horrible arguing. Now the deputy information minister came out to say the chief is worthless. Now the press secretary trying to come back, counter argue with the man because why? The PSA they need to get it. If they come back, they won't get the money they're supposed to get. So that's why you see when it comes to drugs. For me, I always say that the people not willing to fight drugs. Because if the president say the president's son can be selling drugs, they won't get a crop to rehab.
Alleged, my young man, alleged, you don't have proof.
I can say, but you the press man, are you tell me, are you correct that one?
Yeah,
quiet. What I know, I'm speaking of what I know. And then the president can't even want to testify who said so. You think they will stop drugs? What people drugs now start killing people in the prison compound? Because they both bringing the thing and he's selling it and nobody can stop it because why? He's the president's son.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you. To my water, good evening.
Yeah, neighbor, good evening.
Yeah, I wait in my bed water long time.
Neighbor, I tell you, I said, neighbor, I get food. I'm on the road, not like a pop. Think I want for food.
Oh.
There's a matter my SKTV children, my SK show children. Don't remember what they were now. If you me with my people, they're begging for Russia. I want to go to power. They steal all the money. They steal all the money. They country. We suffering. We suffering. The country. Now you say my people, we suffering. They do that, but I go to Tokyo. I know that country go. He carry for the now people. They use all the money. They say he coming back. We suffering the country online, so you know. That's we sell a bro. That's the country.
Oh, no, me I agree. All right, thank you, Uncle Brantate. Liquor loud theft. Good evening, Uncle. Everything.
Yeah, thank you, Lebon. And let me say thank you, Aliu and Mom. Mom for the right. So let me tell you that World Bank and all the other international financial institutions facilitating Africa for Russia. Because the thing is, you might have a program, especially for all we are war-torn country, post-war country. You got to set a benchmark. If we need money, maybe for scholarship or kind of thing, you don't got to be talking about Kennedy School of Government. No. You'll be talking about maybe MIT, so that people can go to learn technology, how to build roads, how to re-electrify your country.
Yes.
Yes, I mean, they will be there and say you must come to learn governance. How about where people to the village those days? I mean, the kingship those days. The people ran their kingdom. And they went well. People have food. Nobody go anywhere.
But the PK each channel, for example, Uncle, the PK each channel for 6 months, 6 weeks, or maybe sometimes in 2 weeks, or even 1 month. Then they say you're doing so. Let me go. Oh, God.
For 3 weeks, what do you learn there? You just go to this spaghetti and other things. You don't learn nothing there. I'm telling you something. They will come with praise there here because that's the kind of way they behave. But before I grab the line, I will be disappointed in the president because when they talk about, they were talking about IMF, World Bank, he said these are he called the guy, he said these are business organizations. So then you count as a business organization, do a different way. Yeah, do a different way. I mean, we got local generation income. We got domestic income. Those domestic income, so we gotta skill it for each time. So please invest in our own or resources.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Uncle. To this color, good evening. Yes, sir.
Good evening, my dear brother.
My brother, I'm okay. I don't know where you want to go channel or where you want to go to for scholar. Yeah.
These guys are criminals. They just came to loot for our people. Let me say hi to my dear brother, Aliu Masali and Monk, right?
Hello, dear brother. Is it on the show?
No, just go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me say hi to them. You know my brother Mabel, this is the voice of Idrissa Somba. I join you from my brother residence. You know, to see people like billionaire traveling, like a guy who is functional illiterate, who doesn't even sound well, due to lies and propaganda, made our wicked Liberians to vote for people like that.
Oh, but now one. Hello, today's caller. Good evening. Hello. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much, people. This is our family. A discussion from Omega Market is like ourselves. While listening to your news this evening, I heard information that I want to respond to. Because I heard the news that the United Party chairman is requesting CMC to collaborate with it. Therefore, I wanted to fact and examine their political record with other people from the federal country before they come out with a statement. The men that you ask to come collaborate with you, they can't tell again, tell their representative. They are representative. Tell you. The main senator, the main senator, why you did that to the mayor? What was the first privilege to the mayor that you ask you somebody from the same country to come collaborate with you? To come come Mr. Benedict, Mr. Benedict, you are even found from Mr. Benedict. It's just the enemy of the people for the study. And I said that when you collaborate with Africa to come to me, you put their food and use it for, and for it, use for idiots.
All right, thank you. So that's caller. Good evening. Yeah, my brother, go ahead. Thank you, AB, for joining us. Go ahead, my brother.
My man, when I got it, you used to go out and follow the show. So you come on every day, so I get back in my radio. I can't miss it.
Thank you.
My brother, when you were, I'm over brother, I'm making mistake. We say 500 some billion.
Yeah.
I think I can lose on correction. Brother, I regret
580 billion away program.
And I yell at it annually.
I mean, we're suffering, man. How many population we got here? Look at we suffering. Hey, man, you have all that money.
Liquor land theft, according to the council of law. Hello to this caller. Good evening. Charles Cooper.
Yeah, good evening, Mabon.
Yeah, my dear brother, go ahead.
Yeah, Mabon, that report is damaging. But then Mon says something, Mabon. The question is, why is the World Bank still giving Africa money when she knows that Africa is corrupt? But I think Mon answered that question is only because maybe the World Bank is complicit in this corruption. Because maybe you can't leave a baby with someone who you already know can eat baby. It's almost like leaving your banana with a monkey. And then you come and start complaining. You know that Africa is corrupt. Start giving them money. Make sure compare them to be accountable and transparent before you give them money. But if you can be corrupt, you're still giving them money. So it means something is going on somewhere.
I like that. Something is good. Maybe the same thing that happened, maybe to USA and so forth. Maybe who knows? Maybe that have been going.
Wonderful.
Hello, today's caller. Good evening.
Yeah, the caller said all right. Why would the World Bank be supporting criminals?
Hey, my brother.
People just pay your country money. You're not mean well for the poor people. Stop getting the people money.
You. Hello, my young man. You can buy things from the black market. Hey, so when you buy for the black market,
because I don't want people to come wrong behind me. I can't do it, people. Yes, it's that. I will pay up moving. I can't even do that. I will buy the store. You just the criminals all in the country around me well for the Liberian people, and then you still supporting them. We get share the money or can't develop Africa. So Liberia. When they give you money to this criminal that go make medicine to become powerful.
Okay.
Because I still criminals and they are messing people. Wow. So now I can see sick in my spirit to see what they still putting money in criminals account. Wow. Why would the people not live less in that? They had Africa to be developed now.
Hey there, my dear brother.
The guys do not mean doing well for them, you are top belly. The guys are criminals. Okuna will say this. They are criminals to the core. So these people are going to want to think twice to see how best to be thinking about the lane down the line. Not these criminals. The guys are rogue. Let me say this, man.
All right. They are legalized, though, but according to the legal counsel. Hello to this caller. Good evening.
Good evening, Mabel. How are you?
My dear, we're okay, though. Just that every time when you wake up.
Calling from Barclay.
Thank you for joining us, ma'am.
Yeah, Mabel, today people really monitor radio. Because why is it that every day you put your business schedule come on the radio and discuss one issue, and then no changes at all?
They can monitor though.
Get over everything we're talking. They want the other station carrying it, and then the people can change. Will they really change? Going to help in the process of.
All right. Thank you so much. It's clear of the line. Let me go to Brother Louis. Louis, good evening. I know that before you go to be part of the show.
I want to thank you, man. I want to thank you and Mong and the other panelists, man. You guys have been doing wonderful well. I'd like to advance some of the points coming from Monk. The reason why the World Bank and the African Development Bank, they are the root cause of corruption in Africa. They are the root cause. Let me ask you, where are the concession company coming from?
Okay.
Those concession, all your data concession, they are the root cause. Until they can address, they fail to address it because the benefit. Listen, what is happening in Liberia? It's not only Sub-Saharan Africa, but they are wise. I think North Africa is by far better a bit, but the new colonialism, they are very responsible for that immemorial. They fail to address the root problem to resurrect all and give her relief. Their compliance into all of these crimes go to where the leaders carry their money among. All the leaders, where the
America, World Bank, they carry to World Bank and also, yeah.
They are the root cause, because most said it right. If they have a silly benchmark, and Melbourne have credited the X amount, and we have not seen the result. Melbourne is close from getting money. But the guys, look at the concession.
That's it.
Look at B. Martin, look at Solometa, look at all the big concession for around the world. They come here and they are fraudulent correction, they benefit from it. Look at B. Martin, 800 million, close to $1 billion over our budget. The people took for last year, the World Bank, the central bank get the total. So they are responsible for our country. I do agree with our own limitation. I do agree, but they are partners in crime. And then the leaders in Africa benefit throughout. Until they can address, they are not helping us. You hear all this money, millions of dollars with interest. My man, we're in trouble. We're in serious trouble.
Well, I just like the way that you are saying we're in trouble, and we don't know how soon we're going to move from the trouble. Hello to this caller. Good evening.
Good evening, Mabel. This is Thomas Emmanuel speaking to you from Johnson Bay, 20 Point.
Thank you, my dear brother, for joining us. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mabel, let me first say hello to Masale, Mon, Steve, and the rest, including you. You know the problem of Liberia, specifically, let me be straight to Liberia. The suffering I will continue to find ourselves in the roots is not an easy thing to get cut down. Because every administration has set aside and wasted into.
Well, I think you got to. Yeah, go ahead. We're getting you.
They play new strategy of being criminal, and even the parents are producing them to be children. That is why we find ourselves living here. Then one of the things I need to try to advise myself about is the Republic of Liberia, specifically in West Africa. Not governmental officials should not be allowed to save money outside the Republic. Okay. Because it is the young thing that depend on.
Even send the family out. Everybody should go to school here. If you have all of your children, let them go to school here too.
Let them go to school. Because when you talk about it, the children get a right to send their family to go to school. But let them deposit the money they pay right in it very Liberia. Because tomorrow, when you mess up, run after you, must run after that money first. But when they get foreign account, they saving that money. Immediately they know that power heavy on them. When they escape, they don't stay in abroad any longer. They go all the way outside the republic, they go to that different country. Then the money they loot that for all, they release it in effect. Liberia is complete hell. Thank you, Miguel.
Thank you so much. Liberia is complete hell. Steve Bole, also in fact, he said God has nothing to do with the choice and the decisions. You leave God alone. The World Bank and the African banks should not be blamed. This core business and the leaders you elect are the ones stealing. Okay, well, that's the one of our colleagues, Steve Bole, also with his own input onto what we are discussing here. But we have roughly about 9 more minutes to go on it. Let me just say 8 more minutes to go. Mark, for me, I'm very confused more when it comes to all of these things. Even though Louis said everything like you've been saying. But Mark, should we also blame the people outside? Because mind you, Steve also talking about business. And for example, if you, Mark, you pay one of your ministers 10,000, you pay your lawmaker, for example, maybe 15,000. Now, I come here to do business. Myself, I want to generate profit. So, I don't get it.
But Ali told you about the credit ratings. The credit rating system, there's a reason you got a credit rating system. It tells you your trustworthiness with people resources, right? In the case of a government, you're dealing with the country resources and taxpayer money. The reason they keep increasing interest rate because they know you are corrupt, you are criminals, and the people want to make profit. So what they will do, they know that the more reckless you are, the more interest rate they can charge you. So they will make it easier for you to get money. They are not responsible. They are not the one telling you to go and steal from your country. No, you are the one that's so close the loophole. You are the one that's so to protect taxpayer resources. But the reason they know that you are corrupt and you will be reckless. So that way, you will always spend more than what you're taking in because you came to steal. So they created an avenue wherein they will even change their rules or their requirement to give you money so that it can become easier for you to get more money. Because the more money you take in borrowing, the more profit they will make. Let me tell you something. Maybe at the end of World War II, the whole of Europe was destroyed, right? America came up with an idea that if Europe is our trading partner, we have to increase their infrastructure and to improve their infrastructure and build their economy. So America came up with an idea they called the Marshall Plan. The Marshall Plan was to take tens or hundreds of billions of dollars to rebuild Europe. That was the reason they created the World Bank and the IMF. The only reason they created the World Bank and the IMF now, when you print that much money to give to another country, somebody must be the one to pay that money back in terms of the bill. So you know who been paying that bill for the past 70 to 80 years? Poorer countries that are corrupt. Because you're paying higher interest rates. So the money to build Europe infrastructure and economy that what we still been paying after World War II. That the only reason they created the World Bank and the IMF, they were infrastructure bank. And guess who paying the burden? Africa. We're supposed to be developing Africa and building the best infrastructure, the schools and the hospital. But our leaders are stealing. So who you think going to pay? You are paying for. Typical example again, like the war happened in Ukraine. By the time Russia finished bombing Ukraine, who you think going to rebuild Ukraine? The same poor African countries that will be paying 23, 24% interest. Look at your country. You are $2.7 billion in debt. Right? How long do you think you're going to keep paying the interest on that land? You will be paying forever. Your daughter who is just born will come and pay that debt. It will keep going from generation after generation. Why should the people change their business model when they are profiting from it? It's up to you. If you cannot take responsibility for your action, then other people are not responsible for you. That the first thing in life, accountability. I don't think it's a white man's job to tell your leader to stop stealing. They can steal all they want because the white man understands there's a system in place.
And they want to control you. So, someone who want to control you, you think the person will tell you, no, maybe don't do the way. If I do the right, no. Because the person know that if I want your eyes are open, they
won't get money. You. So they want to keep it that way. And when you read their platform, you go to the World Bank and the IMF, they will tell you, say the primary objective is to eliminate poverty. I said, Allah, send the IMF Bank created in 1945. How many countries are taking from poverty? Go to African Development Bank. Go and look at the objective to reduce poverty. But guess what? You keep putting more people into poverty because they want you to be in poverty for as long as they can keep you there. That's just why it is.
And to our people, to our leaders, our government, look, let's be frank, and Liberians, thank God that some of you all know these things. Look, I'm surprised that some of you are even calling and talking about these things. That's good. So, you know, we will not want to shift most of the blames on our international partners to say, okay, stop giving us money and this and that, because it won't stop. The Monk and Steve are saying it's true. Because the people, they are doing business. And the reason or the essence of doing business is for you to get profit. Now, that's it, right? They do these things to control you. You take 4-5% from here, send it outside to go and learn. Look, Monk, the issue of giving people scholarship. How come these quote unquote international partners or so forth, why they are not accepting, for example, students between the ages of maybe 15 years to say, okay, yeah, we want 15 years, you know, children to carry them and train them into IT, train them into maybe the issue of manufacturing cell phone and so forth.
Machinery production. It's the same thing. It's the same thing you get with the investor. If a man's also open a company in a country where they are demanding that he build a better living standard for his worker, and he can come and get you to tow rubber bucket on your shoulder on a stick for 30, 40, 50 years, you think he want to change that kind of a business model? No, because he knows it's more profit for him. The people are not interested in making you better, even to that what they say. It is for you to make yourself better. Melbourne, let me tell you, beside you, I want you to name one person in this world, with the exception of your parent, that wake up in the morning and hope and pray that you do better in life, other than you. Who can do that? Nobody. No. So what make you think is the white man's job to worry about you getting better? No, he wants you to remain poor, because the poorer you become, the richer they become. In Africa, we don't get it yet. We are yet to get that simple analogy. Whether it's the IMF, whether it's the World Bank, whether it's the African Development Bank, whether it's the World Health Organization, all of them got one objective: to keep making more profit, to control more people, and to make sure that certain people remain in poverty for the longest, because that's the business model. In order for me to become rich, someone has to be poor, and they will make sure they keep you in poverty until you can graduate from that level of poverty. It's not their responsibility. It is not their job.
Wonderful, Mark. We got to go. We have about 2 more minutes to go. Thank you so much for all of the time. We hope tomorrow the entire team will be here with us on tomorrow. But quickly before we go, Mark, what you want to say to us, because it's not easy, and the issue of corruption has been one of our serious problems in Africa, and our religious people, they do nothing about these things. In fact, all of them, they are also into all these things.
I don't like when you mention that name. It gets a waste of time. I think we are trying to bore our audience here on that subject, because just forget it. It does not exist. The civil society, when it comes to the religious community, they are not credible anymore. They have lost that spark. So the most we can pray for, I don't know when it will happen. I'm not optimistic, except we can get some real transformational leader that will just change the course of Liberia. Maybe when we see success, when we get a sense of what success is, then moving into the future, our people will start to know better. But until then, this thing is going to continue.
But Montelesa, do you think that maybe if 10 or 15 or 20 African countries try to do better, that means the entire continent will likely prosper or do better?
But there are countries that are doing better. There's just not many. Rwanda is doing better. Africa is doing better. Ethiopia is doing better. Rwanda is doing better. Botswana, they're giving free education, free healthcare. People don't even travel from Botswana these days. North African countries now, with the exception of Libya, they are doing better. It's just that when it comes to sub-Saharan Africa, not too many countries you can boast of. That's why we carry the negative blanket assessment. But a lot of countries are doing better now. They are getting it straight. But when you look at the numbers, it's a pale in comparison to people that are not doing better. Most especially when you get a country like Nigeria with the largest economy in West Africa, if they are corrupt, then they will always keep carrying that label of corrupt continent. But everybody is corrupt. They get it, they do it in a whole different way.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. We see you on tomorrow by the grace of the Almighty God. Good night from our end here, and thanks to all of you people. Hopefully on tomorrow, the Facebook will be active, and it will be on the Facebook. Sorry, we sincerely apologize to all of you. And those of you that are also watching on the YouTube, including Steve Bullet, mind you, tomorrow the social chairman will join us. Tomorrow, you know, as usual, I always say the show will be hot. So tomorrow, join us again, people. Thanks to all of you. I love you all. God love you the best. Let keep Mama be safe. Let's keep praying. Like some of you always say, but for me, I think hard work is better than just sitting in some kind of corner, fasting whole day, fasting, you praying every time. As I think you gotta work. That's the only thing we can do. Thank you and good night. From my end, I'm Johnson Mayborn Kula.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Qualified people who waiting to sell. Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The project is giving us here and the premise from there. So welcome my life with African.
I lyrical
Master.
Play Paris, who make you? I can't ask it if you been you. Say my journey, Tina can I say my yamo. And yes, I know money, the more I get you. And you love me, the more I get you.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I delay ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I quantity ya to money, and I could buy ya to money, and I delay ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I quantity ya to money, and I could buy ya to money, and I forget it now ya to money. That's the TV, and I forget it now. So she work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the club. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the premise from best. The work with my life with African. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from River Sass, River G to Chide, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat, San to Backbaloo, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.